You did everything right. You texted first. You planned the dates. You showed up when she was distant and stayed patient when she was cold. And she still pulled away. Not because you were cruel, but because the connection became one-sided and your boundaries disappeared. That is the part nobody explains to men. Effort is not the same thing as value. What is given without boundaries is often taken for granted. You can be kind, consistent, loyal, generous, and still watch interest die in front of you. Because attraction does not reward the man who gives the most. It rewards the man who has the most going on. Niccolo Machiavelli was not a dating coach. He wrote about power, perception, and human nature 500 years ago, for rulers, not for romance. But he understood one thing the modern man forgot. People respond to what they perceive, and they respect what they cannot take for granted. In The Prince, chapter 18, he wrote, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few really know what you are. So ask yourself the uncomfortable question. What do you appear to be? When you answer in 4 seconds, cancel your own plans, and rearrange your life around a maybe. You appear available, and available is not the same as valuable. These are 10 laws of power and desire, not tricks, not games, not manipulation, disciplines. The first one destroys the mistake that makes every other law impossible. The moment another person becomes the center of your emotional world, you hand them the controls. If her reply decides your mood, she is driving. If her approval decides your confidence, she is driving. If you abandon your commitments the second she becomes available, she is driving. Admiration is not attraction. A woman may enjoy being worshipped, but worship tells her something she did not want to know. That she is no longer meeting a complete man. She has become responsible for completing one. Take the center back, not by going cold, but by restoring order. Your work comes first. Your health comes first. Your friendships and your principles come first. Romance should enrich an identity, not replace one. This changes how you behave immediately. You do not send 5 messages because one went unanswered. You do not cancel something that matters for a last-minute invitation. You state your interest clearly, once, and then you leave space. And there is a second half to this law that most men miss. Attention is currency. If you spend unlimited attention on someone who invests almost nothing, you are teaching her that access to you is free. So watch the pattern, not the compliment. Does she ever initiate? Does she ask questions? Does she make time? Does she repair things when they go wrong? Interest is not proven in words. It is proven in effort. Match sincerity with sincerity. Match effort with effort. And if the entire connection collapses the moment you stop carrying it, there was nothing balanced there to protect. A man does not beg someone to enter his life. He builds a life worth entering. Most men misunderstand scarcity. They think the secret is to ignore her, delay every message, disappear without explanation. That is not power. That is insecurity wearing a costume. Real scarcity comes from substance. A man becomes hard to replace when he carries what is genuinely rare: emotional steadiness, ambition, humor, integrity, physical discipline, the nerve to say what he actually wants. Picture 2 men. The first replies in seconds because nothing else is competing for his attention. The second replies when he is free because he was training, building, working, or with people he loves. The gap between them is not response time. It is the life behind the reply. Do not manufacture absence. Build a schedule that naturally contains it. So answer this honestly. If romance art vanished from your life for 12 months, what would you build? Your body? A business? A skill? Your finances? Your friendships? Start there. Start now. But understand the trap. If you build only to impress women, you will abandon the mission the moment attention arrives. The purpose has to belong to you. Direction changes your energy completely. You stop interrogating every date about where this is going. You stop auditioning. You start choosing. And when you are with her, be entirely with her. Phone away, actually listening, noticing the small things she mentioned once. Independence when you are apart, full presence when you are together. That contrast is the whole game. She should never doubt that you care. She should simply understand that your entire existence is not waiting at her door. The man who can be provoked can be controlled, she replies slowly. She disagrees with you. She mentions another man. She cancels an hour before. And something in your chest moves first. Jealousy, panic, the urge to explain, the urge to accuse. An uncontrolled reaction announces that your confidence was only stable while everything went your way. So read the facts, not the fear. A cancelled date might be a genuine emergency. A pattern of cancellations is information about her interest. Neither one requires drama. If the reason is reasonable, stay calm, reschedule, move on. If disrespect becomes a pattern, say it once, clearly, and step back. Do not deliver the speech designed to make her feel guilty. Do not compete for the last word. Your willingness to walk says more than any paragraph you will ever type at 2 a.m. This is not about suppressing what you feel. It is about choosing your behavior instead of letting the feeling choose for you. Sometimes the strongest move is the pause. The pause before you reply. The pause before you chase. The pause before you hand away something you cannot get back. Composure creates safety, and it creates intrigue, because calm suggests depth, competence, and options. Mystery is not secrecy. It is pacing. Most men reveal everything at once. First date, every ambition, every heartbreak, every fear, the full history. They mistake total disclosure for instant intimacy. But intimacy cannot be downloaded. It is earned through shared experience. Think about a book that gripped you. If page 1 gave you every secret and the ending, you would put it down. You are a vault, not a vending machine. Answer honestly. But do not turn every conversation into your autobiography. Give the part of the story that belongs to that moment. Let new situations reveal new sides of you. She might meet your humor first, then your discipline, then your tenderness, then, much later, the experience that built your standards. Be clear about what this is not. This is not hiding a marriage. This is not inventing a persona. Deception destroys trust, and it always surfaces. The principle is simply that access to your inner world should deepen as trust deepens. And ask yourself why you rush to disclose. Is it honesty? Or is it the fear that if you do not impress her right now, you lose your chance? That fear is audible. It makes a man sound like he is applying for a position. When a woman senses there is more to understand, not because you are evasive, but because you have depth, she stops being an audience and becomes a participant. Weak positioning always produces excessive explanation. He says he is confident. He says he is ambitious. He says people respect him. He says he has standards. And the more he advertises it, the more it sounds like he is trying to convince himself. Power is demonstrated, not announced. If you're ambitious, your calendar proves it. If you are disciplined, your body and your habits prove it. If you are respected, watch how people greet you. If you have standards, they will show the first time keeping them is inconvenient. The same is true romantically. Instead of another paragraph of compliments, build the experience. Remember the details she mentioned in passing. Pick a place that connects to something she loves. Arrive when you said you would. Words still matter. Tell her when you appreciate her. Say what you want. But your behavior has to carry the same message, or the words become noise. One consistent action outperforms 10 dramatic promises. Stop telling people what role you deserve. Play it so well that no announcement is necessary. Many men believe attraction requires flawlessness, so they hide every uncertainty, agree with every opinion, and polish themselves until no actual personality survives. But perfection creates distance. Owned imperfection creates connection. You can admit you were nervous before something important. You can laugh at a harmless mistake. You can say, "I don't know," without the ground opening beneath you. That is not weakness when it comes from a stable identity. It signals that your ego does not need constant defending. The distinction is ownership. Do not expose a wound and expect her to heal it. Do not use vulnerability as a shortcut to sympathy. Share honestly and stay responsible for your own emotional work. A man who says, "I handled that badly, and I learned from it," reads as far stronger than a man who rewrites history to protect an image. Because self-awareness is rare, accountability is rare. The confidence to be seen accurately is rare. Let her meet an actual person, capable but still growing, serious about his life and able to laugh at himself. A perfect mask earns admiration from a distance. A real man earns trust up close. Leadership gets confused with dominance. But controlling another adult is not leadership, it is fear. Real leadership removes unnecessary uncertainty. It sounds like, "I know a good place. Are you free Thursday?" It makes a plan, considers what she likes, handles the details, and adapts when she has a better idea. Indecision is not politeness. Endless, whatever you want to do, quietly transfers the work to her. Leadership also shows up in the conversations men avoid. If you want something serious, say it. If you want something casual, say that instead. Honestly, if it no longer fits, end it cleanly rather than fading out while keeping her emotionally on standby. The controlling man needs obedience. The leading man welcomes choice. That distinction decides everything, because desire cannot exist without freedom. If she stays out of guilt, pressure, or confusion, you have not created attraction. That is pressure, not attraction. And lead with variety, not volatility. Be predictable in character and unpredictable in creativity. She should always know you will keep your word, and never quite know whether Thursday is a planned dinner or a street food detour neither of you has tried. That is contrast. Hot and cold behavior is not contrast, it is chaos. It spikes anxiety, and anxiety is not attraction. It is the nervous system reacting while trust quietly dies. Many men announce standards they are terrified to enforce. They say they will not accept disrespect, dishonesty, or games. Then attraction arrives, and every violation gets a new excuse. What you tolerate becomes the price of access to you. Machiavelli's warning in chapter 19 of The Prince was about contempt, that a ruler becomes contemptible when he is seen as fickle, frivolous, mean-spirited, irresolute, unable to hold a position. That is the quality that quietly ends attraction, long before any argument does. This is not about cutting people off over small mistakes. Real relationships need patience, forgiveness, and repair. The question is whether the pattern changes after you name it, so name it calmly. Be specific. Do not threaten. Then watch behavior, not apologies. If disrespect continues, step back. If trust keeps breaking, leave. And your exit must not be a performance designed to make her chase. It has to be a real decision to protect your own dignity. Here is the paradox. The willingness to lose the connection is exactly what lets you participate in it honestly. Without it, fear writes every message. You hide what you need because you believe one disagreement could end everything. A man with standards will lose some people. That is not always failure. Sometimes it is the mechanism protecting your future. Most people do not listen. They wait for the opening to insert their success, their joke, their better story. Real social intelligence observes. What makes her come alive? How does she talk about the people she trusts? How does she treat a waiter? What sits underneath her ambition? Ask because you are curious, not because you memorized a technique. Listen for meaning, not just information. If she mentioned a presentation, ask how it went. 3 days later. If she is passionate about something, let her teach you. Feeling understood outlasts any compliment you could have delivered instead. But observation must never become extraction. Do not identify her insecurities so you can use them as leverage. That can create dependence. And dependence is not desire, it is damage with a delay. Let her feel seen without feeling studied. And notice how you move through the rest of the world too. Because she is watching that as well. Keep your word to your friends. Introduce people who should know each other. Celebrate someone else's win without redirecting the spotlight. Talk to the quiet person as easily as the influential one. When she sees that your confidence is not something you switch on only for her, she learns that your identity has roots. That also protects you. When your life contains real relationships, one delayed message cannot empty your entire week. Rejection tests the architecture of your self-respect. When a woman says she is not interested, many men start negotiating. They ask for reasons. They promise to change. They request another chance. They linger nearby, hoping persistence will erode the answer. That is not devotion. It is a refusal to respect another person's choice. Take it cleanly. I understand. I wish you well. Then go. Do not insult her to repair your ego. Do not announce that she will regret it. Do not perform friendship while waiting for a moment of weakness. Distance is often the honest move. Take it. Accepting a no preserves the exact qualities that made you attractive in the first place: composure, dignity, and respect for freedom. Not every connection can or should be won. Compatibility includes timing, values, and circumstances that were never in your control. The man who cannot hear no is not powerful. He is governed by entitlement. The man who hears it, stays kind, and keeps building, proves his confidence never depended on possessing anyone. All 10 laws collapse into one question. Do not judge a connection by chemistry, compliments, or the intensity of a good night. Judge it by mutual investment over time. Are both people making plans? Are both asking questions? Are both repairing misunderstandings instead of waiting them out? Are both occasionally sacrificing convenience? Is the relationship making two complete people better, or absorbing one into the other? Early on, leaving room for her to invest is essential. If you planned the first date, let her suggest the second. If you started one conversation, notice whether she ever starts the next. Do not keep obsessive score. Do watch the balance. And when the investment does become mutual, reward it with openness. Restraint that creates curiosity at the beginning will strangle intimacy if you never let it go. As trust grows, clarity has to grow with it. Because the goal was never to keep her guessing forever. The goal is a relationship where nobody is chasing, because both people are choosing. So, how do you make a woman chase you? You stop chasing validation. You keep the center of your life for yourself. You build something with momentum. You guard your attention. You master the pause. You reveal yourself in chapters. You let your actions do the arguing. You lead without controlling. You listen without exploiting. You hold the line, and you accept rejection with dignity who has somewhere else to be. And then the question in your head changes. You stop asking, how do I make her like me? You start asking, who is she, and who am I when I am around her? That is a different kind of strength, and it comes with no guarantee. Some women will still walk away. Anyone promising you certainty is selling manipulation with better packaging. What these laws actually do is make you less needy, more disciplined, harder to destabilize, and far better at recognizing genuine interest when it finally shows up. So do not run them as tactics. Tactics buy attention. They cannot hold respect. Run them as standards for the man you are becoming. Because the secret was never learning how to be chased. It is refusing to live like a man who needs to be chased in order to feel worth something. Train, work, build something. Keep your friends. Develop the nerve to walk away from what shrinks you, and the courage to stay open to what actually deserves you. Do that, and attraction stops being the objective. It becomes a side effect. And if the right woman decides she wants a place in that life, do not punish her with games. Meet effort with effort. Meet honesty with honesty. Meet desire with desire. That is not surrendering your power. That is knowing when your power has done its job. If this changed how you think about attraction and self-respect, subscribe and send it to the man in your life who is still chasing. In the comments, which of these 10 do you need to master first? Until next time, attention can be taken, desire can only be given.